I do want to say that we have had one firefighter that has been transported due to heat exhaustion. I also want to update, in the month of July we had 597 fires, and today the KBDI is 688. I was speaking with Judge Hidalgo earlier and giving her a brief, and one of the things we talked about was we want to remind people that any fire can grow very quickly, even the smallest of fires if you're barbecuing or anything. And so we're very concerned about this, and we just want to remind you of that. Also, do want to talk about that the ME's office has left the scene, and pending post ID and investigation by the ME's office that we'll be able to release more information. I'm going to turn it over to the Forest Service now so that he can give you a little bit more input on how the fire was contained.
So, as that was mentioned earlier, we are sitting at 27 acres with 100% containment. Now, crews, even though they are leaving the scene, Roseville Fire Department will remain on scene to monitor and patrol throughout the night. In the morning, Texas A&M Forest Service with local fire departments will be back on scene to check, monitor, and patrol for any kind of hot spots or potential reburn that may be in the area due to the increased temperatures, the low humidity, as well as the winds that we're seeing here in the county. Thank you.
We'll take any questions.
A neighbor that we spoke with said the man who was burned, the deceased male, may have been burning leaves in a backyard. Are you able to confirm or deny any of that?
So my office is still performing their investigation and doing the interviews, and as well, like I said, we'll be working with the ME's office. So at this time, we cannot do any confirmation. It is an ongoing investigation.
You mentioned there were like 500 fires. Compared to last year, how many?
Yeah, I'd have to go back and look at the numbers, but I can tell you this is more than tripled than what we normally see. We know that we're in a significant fire danger. Texas Forest Service, if you follow them on social media, they're continually taking care of fires throughout the state of Texas. And you see that we have, out of 254 counties, I think right now we have well over 200.
225.
225 counties under a burn ban. So this is a very serious problem. And I want to remind people, as the winds, you can tell the wind has picked up since we've been here. At night especially, please make sure you have water near your burn pits, your barbecue grills, anything that you may be using just to even cook dinner or anything like that. Do not throw cigarettes out the car, anything like that. Even mowing your grass, you've got to be very careful. Please water it down.
I know you can't answer much about the person that was found dead. Do you know if it happened around his property? Did he live in that area where the fire started, where the fire happened?
We do know that the deceased was from this area and lived in the area. And we have been in touch with the family, but we do want to obviously let the ME's office do what they do and let the family make the notifications they need to make. Yes, sir.
So I guess it wasn't exactly his residence that it occurred at.
We're not sure at this time, again, because my investigators are doing interviews. We've been so busy letting the fire service get in there and put out the spots that we haven't really taken time to lay out all the properties. I will tell you, if you look at our social media, Texas Forest Service has done a great job of allowing us to put out maps. You can actually see on our social media the map of the area that was affected.
And you said that there's two structures that were affected. What kind of structures were
So it's what we would call like sheds, storage buildings, outbuildings. This area here is we see a lot of acreage in this area and homes that have sheds and storage facilities, and that's what it was.
How close did it ever get close to a home? How close?
Well, I think earlier we had talked about we had a little over 12 houses that could be affected. So I would say yes, it was close enough that we were definitely mapping it and concerned about it. But fortunately, because of the fire breaks that were able to be put in, we talked about the drones. This is technology we did not have in 2011. So the good news about firefighting is we continue to use technology to our advantage, and the drones have been a significant advancement in the ability to use the dozers that the Forest Service brought us and that we've been able to use from the county to put those fire breaks in.
Is there anything that residents here should be doing right now, watering their grass?
Oh, yes, I would love to talk about that.
So a great thing that residents can do is what we call defensible space. Defensible space are home ignition zones where we limit the number of trees in terms of spacing. We limit our trees up, keep our grass lean, clean, and green as much as possible. We are in drought-like conditions, so we know that water is going to be scarce and regulated at this time. So anything that a homeowner can do can definitely help us on the wildland side at this time.
I know earlier you guys were saying about 6 different fire crews and 80 firefighters. How many would you say will be left to make sure there's no hot spots or anything?
So Rose Hill Fire Department will remain on scene. The chief, I didn't get an actual number of firefighters, but I know he's got perimeter set up with fire trucks, so I'm going to assume he's going to have, somewhere between at least up to 5 pieces of equipment. So most of the time equipment has 4 personnel per vehicle, so that very well could be what he has. They are very familiar with this area. They do a great job of we have had some grass fires in this area, so he's very cognizant of the threat, and he's going to make sure they're out all night. Thank y'all again. Appreciate it. Thank you. I still might have it. Go ahead.